So Aiden, why did we create this documentary?
Well, we created this documentary to take a better look at the food cart culture, what it takes to create a food cart, and what it takes to be successful in the food cart industry. We talked to Herb from Herb's Mac and Cheese, and we talked to Ed from PDS 671, which is a Guamanian food cart.
Herb Ankin. I own and operate Herb's Mac and Cheese food cart in Southeast Belmont in Portland. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, spent several years in the Deep South before coming out here, and been in Portland for about 5 years now. I had a Mexican restaurant in Florida. I also did shave ice on the beach up until the BP oil spill. After the BP oil spill, I had some family out here that convinced me this was a much nicer place to live than Florida. It's easier to specialize in something and do it well. Lower overhead, easier to get into. It's a much smaller footprint than a restaurant. You don't have to deal with phrases like triple net. Most cart lots have just one simple fee that includes electric and water and rent. And it's easier access to the people. You know, you're not back hidden away in a kitchen somewhere. You're actually able to interact with people that are coming to eat your food, which is nice. Portland is more accommodating for people doing a stationary cart. It's a great location. My first cart, originally when we first opened, this cart was over on 32nd and Division, which has since been closed, and there's now a condo there. I was just very fortunate to be able to get into this one when I did. I tried to get into this lot before I went to that one, and there was a waiting list to get in, and timing just worked out. This is one of the better lots in town. This is actually a non-compete lot, which is one of the things that was, a bonus to being here. Nobody else on the lot can do mac and cheese. I can't do burgers, I can't do sushi, I can't do any of the things that my neighbors do. So nobody's in competition with anyone else. They're colleagues. We're all just trying to do the best that we can and bring as many people to the lot as we can on our own. When I first moved down here, we looked around and everybody in Portland, every restaurant had mac and cheese on their menu, but at the time nobody was specializing, so it just seemed like a good fit. And we had a good family recipe and that helped. I do just a classic French cheese sauce, flour, butter, milk, salt and pepper, and a ton of cheese. Cheddar, Asiago, Parmesan is the blend or the mix that I use, or my ratios. And there's varieties of that all over town. So we're different in that it's made to order. It's kind of like the base. You could almost make it analogous to a cheese pizza. There's penne pasta, a ton of cheese sauce, and then whatever you like goes on top, just like pizza toppings, gets baked with it in the oven. So people that come to eat here have a lot of control over getting what they want, as opposed to whatever the chef feels like making that day.
Yeah, we'll get the chicken, onion, spinach, and Parmesan.
All right, so a double with chicken, onion, spinach, and Parmesan.
Yeah, sounds about right.
The local business community is great. The health department is fantastic. I just spoke with a health inspector recently, and she said there's like 800 food carts in Portland now, and probably 100 opening this year. One of the things that's nice out here, as opposed to other parts of the country where I've lived, is that when they find something wrong, they look to correct it instead of just shutting you down and throwing a hammer at you. That if something is not dated the way that they want it, or whatever it is, they're there to help. Instead of saying, no, you can't do that, they say, oh yeah, you can do that. Here's how. A mistake that a lot of people make is they come up with a concept and then they go and buy their cart without being sure that the equipment that they're going to need to produce their concept fits in the cart. I've seen that happen a couple of times. So the solution to that is come up with your menu, figure out exactly what it takes to make it, and then price the equipment, and then measure the equipment before actually buying the cart. A lot of guys run into trouble having to retrofit. They've got a fridge that's too big or a stove that's too wide and it just won't fit in the space. In a brick and mortar restaurant, you've got a lot of wiggle room for something like that. That's a 7 by 10 box. So there's only so much room. Actually, in the process of selling it, not related to business has been great. My wife got a job in Seattle, and since my business is technically mobile, I'm actually selling everything here and purchasing a truck to do the same thing up in Seattle. Oh yeah, we do all right.
My name is Ed Sablon, and I own a food cart in Portland, Oregon. I'm Chamorro, native of Guam and Mariana Islands. I was working at a restaurant and a bakery for several years. We opened up in 2010, so it's coming up on 4 years now. Starting a food cart is less than trying to open up a full-on restaurant. It brings home enough income to help out, definitely. The location came by because they were closing the other pod that we were at. We had to vacate the other pod, and then we had to find a spot right away. And this place was just opening up. It worked out. Everyone gets along, and we're all friendly with each other, and we all eat from each other's carts, but it's still, everyone's trying to, get some business. You gotta have a niche. You gotta have something that sets you apart from everybody else, because otherwise you're just doing what everybody else is doing, and you're not gonna go anywhere with that. It affects the business in positive and negative ways. Positive being like, it's a niche, nobody else is doing it. So there's that perspective where I can kind of have that market right there. But then the negative side, there's gonna be a lot of people that walk by the cart and look at the menu and then just walk away because they don't understand what anything is. The Kelly is a chopped grilled chicken dish, and it's super different. It's, in my perspective, it's something that we've really come to be known for. We're gonna see how far we can get with this before we open up a brick and mortar restaurant. I love my job.
Big. Oh, you want me to say fun this time? No, it's big.
Fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. Whatever you put in it, you're gonna get out of it. You gotta find a niche. You gotta do something that nobody else is doing.